this JDCA has been, was a dream that Jatin Das, who founded it many years ago, I don't even know, over 2 decades. It began with a small collection which just kept growing, and our home became like a little museum, and therefore it had to be moved to a actual arts center. So he was given an acre of land in Bhubaneswar to actually build his studio, but instead he thought it would be really nice to have an arts center where contemporary art, folk art, tribal art, antiquities, all could be showcased in one space. So there's no hierarchy in terms of, which art gets more precedence over the other. And it has not been easy for us to raise funds for the Arts Center, has taken a long time, but slowly we're on our way with the support and help of many people, including the state and the central government, including other philanthropists. We're also doing some public-private partnership, individuals, and then people like you who have participated in various of our programs. Many of you have come to Orissa, come to our film festivals. We do a very special film festival, which is focused on art and artists only, on visual art and artists. In fact, today's guest for our 240th Meet the Artist program, Mr. Raghu Rai, he's come there also many times. I'm sure he'll also share those stories. So this Meet the Artist program is a very special program. It is conducted once a month on second Saturdays in the evening, where we have our what we call the camp office, because JDC is still being built. So in the office itself, we get people, and over the years we have seen it increase from literally 5 people to many more. There is sometimes no place to sit. A craftsperson or an artist or a scholar, or a weaver comes and shares their work and their journey with all of us. It has been going on for many years now, and we had done about 237 Meet the Artist uninterrupted. We didn't miss even one, and then the pandemic happened, the lockdown, and we were still struggling with how to bring it online. And now we have managed to do it online. This is the third online one. The first one was with Mr. Gadnayak, the Director General of National Gallery of Modern Art. The second one was with Mr. B.V. Doshi, the eminent architect. And the third one is with one and only Mr. Raghu Rai. So very warm welcome to you. We are all from different parts of the country, some from outside the country. So I think while this online world is a bit crazy and we want to get back to the real world, it has also brought many of us together, which probably would have been, we wouldn't have thought of it. It still existed then, but we never needed it, so we never thought of it. So do you want to say a few words before I introduce you formally? Mr. Rai?
More than an hour, so please.
Okay, I'm going to give a very short introduction because everyone who's come here knows you very well and is already interested in your work and has seen it over the years. So I'm not going to give a very long introduction, just to say that you were born in 1942 and you began your career as head of photography for The Statesman. You're a member of the Magnum Photo Agency since 1971. Your coverage of the Bhopal disaster in 1984 is a milestone. I think those images still haunt us till date. In the last 18 years, Raghu Rai has devoted his work exclusively to India and has produced more than 55 picture books on different events and figures of India. Padma Shri awardee and laureate of the first edition of the Academia de Beaux-Arts Art Photography Award. This is a very rare honor, first time being given to a photographer, which was earlier meant only for literature and art. So you can imagine that, in the land of Bresson, that our very own Raghu Rai got this award. So we are very, very honored to have you at the JDCA 240th Meet the Artist. And we were thinking what we should ask. And as you know that I asked you, what should I ask you? And you said, whatever you want to ask. So I've known you since I was a child, but there are still so many different questions that, we never get an opportunity. So between Siddharth and I, we are going to basically ask what we really want to know and hope that that will resonate with our audiences too. So it would be wonderful if you can really start from the very beginning. your early days, how you got into photography. I'm sure you've said this and shared this many a times, but I think it's always fascinating to see where it all began. And I'm sure every time you say it, there are new experiences and memories that come to you, and also your relationship with your photographer brother, Mr. S. Paul. So if you can just share your early days and how you came into it.
Well, we've been in lockdown for more than 7, 8 months. So my
Yes,
early
since
days have
March.
to start from maybe December or January. I'm still waiting for the early days to start, really. Never ever happened to me that I don't pick up a camera for months and months.
True.
But
But you still went in between. I heard you still
in between, yeah,
did go, right? We're going to come to that. But
yeah,
let's start from the beginning if you want to share that a
a
little bit.
little bit. You know, After high school, I had to do civil engineering because my father wanted me to become an engineer, and he had that great dream for me, which I thought was very boring. So I did
Yeah, many
engineering.
artists have had that.
Yeah, worked for the government for a year and a half, and the job was meant only for that period. And they said, you can apply later and come back. So I never applied, came back to Delhi and took a refuge in my brother's home, Paul's home, who was a photographer. And not that I ever thought of becoming a photographer, but the fact was, कि यार बड़ा भाई, he'll look after me for some time and I'll see what I need to do in future. But I had no idea what to do now. But the strange thing was that all those people who came to meet Paul were all photographers. In those years, no cameras, no lenses were easily available. And so anybody bought a wide angle lens, he'll come and show a wide angle. And all of them will get together. Oh, yeah, this is 28 lens. This takes wider. Similarly, these things were going on. And Paul, very handsome. I tell you, if you see I should have brought one picture. He is like more handsome than any Hollywood star, I tell you. He was such a stylish man. And he had love for poetry, for music, and for romance, of course. And so I stayed with him for a few years and I didn't know what to do, but I could see everybody, whosoever came, talk about photograph lenses. And I used to find it very boring कि सालों के पास they have nothing else to discuss, or share. And this is how it started. So one of his friend, Yog Joy, very educated, very sensitive person, and a big landlord who was in the process of becoming a photographer, but man with a lot of positive energy. Is it okay? Am I? Yeah. So he was going to go to his village to take some pictures. And since I liked him and his energy, I asked my brother, can I go with him and have a few days of chutti? So I went along with him. Before leaving Delhi, I asked my brother, I said, why don't you give me a camera? I'll also take some pictures just for fun's sake. So he loaded a camera a film in a small camera. He gave me some sense of exposure. Aisa karna, waisa karna. So off I go with this guy called Yog Joy, wonderful human being who's no more. He was taking pictures everywhere. And I had a camera hanging on my shoulder. And so I was looking at things. He was photographing children, village life, everything. And once in a while, I'll also click a picture because I had no plan or desire to become a photographer. Then towards the evening, on the outer side of the village, there were children chasing him. So he started photographing, and I saw a baby donkey standing on one side, the landscape, the light was fading. So I thought this was very cute, So I took that picture and came back.
Your first photo.
Yeah. And the film was processed, and then Paul tells me, Raghu, this is a very good picture. I said, really? So, that was 65 or 1966. And those years, the Times London newspaper used to publish a weekend photograph, half page for a picture. And the photograph must have something unique, something funny, something strange, something ironic. And he sent my picture and they published it. Then we got the newspaper. So all his friends and Paul, everybody said, wow, Raghu, that's something. So they said, it's a big deal, getting published with your name and everything. And that's the time I said, yeah, that's not a bad idea to try my hand on photography. Then he gave me an old Nikon camera. So I load a film and wander around in the streets the whole day, come back in the evening. Paul was working with Indian Express. So I had to manage my own things. So I'll come back in the evening after the dark. I had made a little dark room inside the bathroom. So I'll switch off all the lights, process my film very quickly, then go for food and come back by the time film will be dried. And I look at that and get very excited. So like this, it went on for a few months. And then I discovered that you're not getting anything really great or important, like this. And, it's a big deal, the first picture getting published. And this went on for some time. But sometimes I will pick up a moment which was very special. And now when I look back, I can explain, especially to the young minds, that there were two things happening in my life. Initially, I had no plans to become a photographer. So I had nothing on stake, whether I take good pictures or bad.
Yeah.
Second thing, I discovered whenever I responded to a situation instinctively, with a sense of wonder, I always got something very special. But that took me many, many years to realize this point. So this is how I started. And then, I showed some of my work to Kishore Parekh, Swapan Parekh's dad, who was chief photographer with Hindustan Times. He said, oh, very good. Come, why don't you work with us? So I worked with him for a year. Now, Paul was chief photographer, Express. Kishore, chief photographer, Hindustan Times. And meanwhile, the Statesman chief photographer was retiring. So I applied and I got that job. Now, Paul, with so many years of experience, and Kishore Parekh had done photojournalism course from America. And he was a mad guy, looking for always something different. So here I was sandwiched between the two big guys, Kishore and Paul. Both of them 10 years, 11 years older to me. And they were well established, both of them. Now, there were situations when three of us will be, shooting together on some important assignment. And I used to say, oh my God, Salon ko dekhunga main. So that's the feeling.
Instead of being awkward.
Okay. Yeah, you see, because, either you get sandwiched and crushed between the two guys, or between the two guys. You
hold your own.
No, when you are getting sandwiched, you get pushed up, boom. So there were days when Paul's picture will be the best. There'll be days when my picture will be the best, or Kishore Parekh's picture will be the best. So I was becoming equal amongst the unequals. And it used to be so much fun. But then, Kishore's home and my home were in the same direction. That time, then I had moved out from Paul's place. So we used to, every evening, we used to get together, Kishore and me, and have fun or drink together and listen to music and go home. So this used to be our exercise, which was very nice. And Paul specialized, especially in those years, special images of sports, which were never done before. And he also did many other human stories very well. And Kishore was very good at news and human stories. So I had to, match with both of them in some way or the other. But it used to be lots of fun. कि वो जो दिल में फीलिंग थी ना साले दोनों से बड़े मैं देखूंगा.
Was that your inspiration or this new discovery of
and
finding this calling?
I study their photograph very carefully. साले ने मारा है, कैसे मारा है? Now I have to analyze that. How he's got it. And that analytical, critical analysis of their work and my own work was the period, when, I was beginning to breathe differently. So this went on. Then Kishore, of course, went to Hong Kong. And Paul was also changing his course in many different ways. But nevertheless, I worked with the Statesman for 10 long years. And we gave some of the finest stories and pictures. So did Kishore, so did Paul. So
wonderful.
And then, I discovered that in a daily newspaper, you have to do different stories every day. And in a daily newspaper, every news story can die a daily death. And by that time, the Sunday magazine was doing very well. And then meanwhile, Arun Puri had started India Today. So I get an offer from MJ Akbar that why don't you work for us? I thought it was a good idea leaving a daily newspaper and joining a weekly. But then they were in Calcutta and I was in Delhi and I had no control over what goes in and in what size. And it was frustrating. Then comes Arun Puri, who's been my old friend because we did some calendar on Yamini Krishnamurti, which became very popular, and few other things. So he comes to me and he says, Raghu, why don't you join us? I said, that's a great idea. So I had 10 years long affair with India Today.
Oh.
And Arun Puri, one of the brightest editors, manager, and who will pick up the best guys from the field and put them together and give them the freedom. Whereas the other big organizations, they become slow and dull, So India Today was rising. And with India Today, we also got into that mode of exploring stories differently with different responses and understanding. But at the same time, the basic trends in the country were, very, very stereotyped. And news stories and news pictures used to be very boring, So I used to say that listen to the brief of the editor very carefully of what the story demands. But once you walk into a situation, you forget about the brief. And you have to respond to the situation the way it speaks to you. Now, this is something very important, which I learned in 10, 15 long years. What can, where you can rise beyond the mundane level of taking regular, predictable photographs of news stories or human stories. Now, this part is very important. That respond to the situations the way they speak to you right now. Even to the fact that, sometimes, in our editorial meetings, the editor will say, this is the important story, and I think this is the kind of pictures we should have. So, Arun Puri, and then we had one of our editors, I'm forgetting his name. So I said, listen, you guys sitting in these air-conditioned rooms, you are sitting here and deciding what should be the picture idea and story. Huh? I said, why don't you travel with us all over again and understand the realities the way they get translated in daily life, to have
Yeah.
the immediacy of the news and the response to that. Now, you see, in Zen Buddhism, now this is a very old saying, and I'm sure everybody's heard it: being here and now.
Yeah.
It sounds very simple, but most of us, most of the time, we are programmed human machines.
Absolutely.
The conflict is between your head and your heart. Now, you see, in photography, being here and now is the greatest exercise and is the best way of being here and now through photography for me. Because when you are in a situation and things are happening, which means that is here, the space for you. And now is the moment taking a
Moment.
birth and dying the next moment. So this was something very unique, which helped me all along until today. And now, of course, I just live on that. Now, you see, uh, computer technology came maybe 20, 30 years ago. But God has been installing the biggest computer in all of us. And this computer, the capacity of this computer can be increased to anything, they say. It's a storehouse of sights, sounds, ideas, images, and all kinds of memories.
Memories. Yeah.
Yeah. And those memories together, जैसे when you are playing Holi, the red color on your face, then the yellow color on your face, then the green color on your face, and then the blue color on your face. And after a while, what does it become? Brownish, muckish kind of
Yeah.
color.
God, gets all
So
mixed up. Yeah.
mixed up. So when you have so many ideas, thoughts, images, and stories in your head, it becomes a muck. Because creativity happens beyond thoughts and ideas. To be able to live that creative moment, to go through that experience, to experience a moment of realization, has to be happening here and now and free of this computer.
Now.
You see, now this computer is the guy who controls you through and through. And he tells you, listen, man, I'm going to look after your interests, Don't go on a wild path, Don't go haywire doing things, I'm here to tell you what is to be done. And this guy, the worst thing is that you cannot format this memory. You cannot delete it. And when it gets overlapped with the situations you're photographing or you're painting or you're writing about, it's a repetition of another kind. And you end up producing mediocre. You see, because in news photography, there are 20 photographers, 30 photographers shooting at the same spot at the same time.
Yeah.
So who will choose the moment? Who lives in the here and now? Because that's where the magic happens. And that part, even in daily life, when you are meeting friends, when you're meeting your boss, when you're going to some government office, you have to respond instinctively, looking and feeling the smell of the place and what does it demand from you, what kind of response it needs from you. And that's where the magic happens, because if you are already programmed, I'm going to this Sarkari officer and he'll be tough and he'll be difficult, your language, your body language, everything changes. But when you are responding as a human being who's sensitive, who can receive and perceive the energies and then deal with it, is the power of immediacy in responding to people. So, even painter, photographer, writer, musicians, I have seen, अब राग दरबारी तो राग दरबारी है और उसके स्वर तो डिफाइंड हैं। तो जब अली अकबर खान साहब बजा रहे हैं आंखें बंद करके, and then he leaves it to the divine to come in. And that note, when that note gets played, he's playing and he opens his eyes. अरे ये क्या हुआ? ये अद्भुत बात जो है, ये अद्भुत जीना जो है, photography has so many such opportunities because every time we are dealing with different canvas, with different energies, with different moods, and all kinds of situations which keep changing, which keep multiplying. Because I feel even, like I stay in Mehroli and the chalk downstairs, if you stand in that square, it keeps changing all the time. People ask me, what inspires you to go on? Like once I asked my friend Jatin Das, why must you paint after 50 long years? You ask me, I'll give you 20 answers to that. Why must I take pictures? So, because it's ever challenging, it's ever changing, and ever questioning. It energizes you. So
but that surprise that you, sorry to interrupt, but just to carry this thought further, that surprise, pehle jab karte the, that time you didn't know what was going to come out, right? Till you went into the dark room, until you saw, did you capture that moment or not? That wonderment that you had. Now with digital technology, when you, that same moment, you are being able to capture it 20 times. And, I've seen you taking photographs. You sometimes don't even, you often don't even in fact put your eyes to it and you just click. How does that wonderment come to you? How is that here and now? How does it manifest? What are the differences? Or are we just romanticizing the past?
No, people do romanticize. Also they talk about analog and the film we used to use. I forgot that was technology. This is new technology that gives me more freedom. No, but like even in the past, dekhiye, when I say being here and now, which means in our case, photographers connecting, having the instinctive ability to connect with every inch of space in front of you. When you become, which means when you connect, you become a part of the whole.
You're in it.
Yeah, you are in it. You are not out of it, you are part of it. And if, like I listen to a lot of classical music, and that keeps playing inside me. So when I become a part of the whole, that music, that rhythm begins to beat the space for me, begins to play for me. Why won't it do that? Because I have invested everything into it. आप बैंक में जितना डालते हैं उतना ही तो इंटरेस्ट आएगा ना. If I put my mind, body, spirit, emotions, everything into it at every given time, why won't it perform for me? Is the question. So even in film days, when such moment of realization was captured, a current will run through your body. Ho gaya. Now,
that magic.
Now that I can see it right now after the click is so magical for me. I tell you, people asking, how was your transition from film to camera? I said, the day I picked up a digital camera, I couldn't go back to using film. Why? Because each time you click a situation, you can see it right now. Like a painter, he's putting his strokes, using his different colors, and he can see what's emerging out of it, right? And for us, it used to be, pura din you shoot and see in the evening. I'm not saying that we did not know the exact moment that we had got it, and it's there, but to see it right there and then. And also the fact is that I say being here and not tumhare baap ka raaj to hai nahi. Mind, body, spirit, they have different responses to different situations at different times. So in this case, in digital technology, when you click a couple of pictures or more, and you discover your steps are going nowhere. So you reorganize your mind and your spirit. What the hell is going on? You're not there. And this is what new technology has taught me. And I shoot a lot, and I have so much fun doing it that I go crazy, you know. It's so wonderful. अगर जतिन पूछे मुझसे तो I'll tell him कि मैं क्यों करता हूँ. तो देखो
इसीलिए आपने जो
पागल वो भी है और पागल मैं भी हूँ. तो मेरा पगलाना मेरे तरह का उसका उसकी तरह का है, you know. And this energy कि क्या कहते हैं उसको,
क्या
ये बहुत बढ़िया कि इसकी खातिर मैंने पत्ती पत्ती जर्रे जर्रे का जिगर चीरा है. ये दिल है कि इसकी खाना वीरानी नहीं जाती, अभी भी बेताब ढूंढता फिरता है. It's not the age, you know, it's your search.
Yeah, the quest. It's your search.
You know. फिर when I'm shooting, my age is not there. I'm ageless man. Because when I invest, जब आप इन्वेस्ट करते हो बैंक में तो आपको उसका इंटरेस्ट आता है ना, तो मुझे उसका रिटर्न मिलता है, एनर्जी वापस मिलती है मुझे. मे बी फिजिकली आई एम टायर्ड फॉर शूटिंग द होल डे लाइक अ मैड मैन, बट व्हेन आई गो बैक and I sleep and wake up the next day, I am rejuvenated. Boom. This is the kind of creativity. That's where magic lies in creativity. Lalit Mansingh, आप नहीं हमसे कुछ पूछेंगे?
And
अब मैं पूछना
चाहते हैं आप?
Is your भाषण over?
नहीं नहीं, आपके लिए तो अभी शुरू हुआ.
Okay,
पूछिए वरना हमारे पास भी बहुत सवाल है.
Okay.
Do you want to ask something?
Well, at this stage, may I say, Raghu, I have known you for such a long time, but your eloquence each time staggers me. The fact that you can explain your emotions and your creative processes so well is something which is terrific. Now, I have a basic question. When I think of you, I don't think of you as a man clicking a camera. I think of you as somebody like a painter or a potter or a jeweler, right? I mean, it seems to be the same kind of creativity. Now, the closest link to your art, I suppose, is painting. But a painter still paints basically with the same tools that were there maybe 500 years ago, 5,000 years ago. Okay. You are taking photographs with a tool that is perhaps, started 100 years ago and now with the new gadgets 20, 30 years ago. Now, with this enormous leaps of technology, how can you keep track of photography as you have known it? Because when you started, you were taking one kind of photographs, and today you're taking different photographs. The question finally is, how long will photography remain the kind of art that you have practiced it, now that technology does so much of the thinking for you, right? I mean, you can always check the light levels and the right position and so on.
Thinking. Manipulate it more.
and so you have the luxury which a painter doesn't have. A painter can't have 1,000 canvases and then say, I'll tear this up and I'll select this one. So basically, what is the future of photography as we know it, as a creative art? And if you were to start life all over again, would you still be a photographer? Or would you be let's say, a classical singer or a painter or something?
That's what. That's
okay.
देखो, अगर मैं फिर से शुरू करूँ ना, तो मैं माली बनूंगा, फूल बहारें लाऊंगा,
वाह वाह,
और फिर वहाँ बैठ के गाया करूंगा. गाने वालों में जो एक्चुअली आर्टिस्ट, पेंटर्स एंड म्यूजिशियंस, उनका क्या है यार, they close all doors, get into their studio or in a room, and they sing and they practice and they sing to the divine and get closer to him. तुम और हम क्या चीज हैं यार, इस दुनिया में कुछ भी नहीं है. वो कहता है, वो जो थे ना किशोरी जो थी, किशोरी अमोनकर और विलायत खान साहब भी, वो बात करने में बड़ी कमाल करते थे. कहते थे जब हम आप लोगों के लिए गाने लगते हैं और आप में रीझ जाते हैं तो हम आप जैसा म्यूजिक बजाते हैं, बुरा मत मानना, लेकिन जब हम उसके लिए बजाते हैं तब हमारी ऑडियंस अलग है. प्रिसाइसली यार, जो डिविनिटी है, when that divine energy comes into play, that's where you have to keep yourself pure, clean, and receptive. And if that keeps happening, no matter what you do, you take pictures, you paint, whatever you do, the magic, the freshness will always be there. यही तो एक बात है, which cannot, you see, now photography is going through a lot of changes. Because many, actually in the beginning also, when photography started 150, 60 years ago, it was heavily influenced by art, by portraiture, by landscapes, everything. They were doing photography in the style, they were doing portraits also in the style of painters, like the painters will do a portrait, or they will do a landscape and everything. And then in early last century, then people like André Curtis, then Cartier-Bresson, they started using these 35 quick cameras, and they wanted to give it Rawangi, the energy, the movements of daily life and the expressions of daily life. Now, you see, even in olden days, some of the portraits done, some of the landscapes done, and then later in 90s and further on, you see, like Bresson came to India when the partition was happening. And he took some remarkably important, he captured some remarkably important moments in the history of India as a new nation being born. And so much has happened similarly in this direction. Now, you see, the purpose of photography for me is to capture the time we live in. And when we capture the time we live in, the time has its own heartbeat. It ticks. It lives for itself. And this purpose, that it is going to be the visual history of my country for years to come, which cannot be replaced even by the writers, because also history is written and is being rewritten. But visual history cannot be rewritten. And if it's captured with all the sensitivity and with all the parameters of the space and experience in mind, is here to stay as a document of history. So this is the purpose for me. Now, these days, because the photographers initially started copying, painters and artists, and now many young photographers, they earn their bread by doing photography, but they want to call themselves artists, this complex. And then they think daily life, street life, events happening is nothing big, They have to create something of their own. They do conceptual photography. Some can do it with a lot of experience and understanding conceptual. But most of it being done, you see, concepts are born out of your ideas, out of your mind. Your mind space is just this much, 4 or 5 inches. And the world out there is ever changing and so huge. So how can you compare your tailor-made situations and tabletop photography of your own kind, or making people put together in situations and make them pose this way and that way and say this says this, and now people have started writing on their photographs. Well, if your photograph needs that kind of crutches, leave it. And if your photograph has to look like a painting, you become a painter. So all these things are, and in any case, in any, history of any medium, there is a saturation point. Now, saturation point, I say, André Curtis was 20 years senior to Henri Cartier-Bresson. And when Bresson was doing very well, somebody asked him about his work. He said, well, this man has almost touched upon every subject matter that we are trying to do now. But the fact was that André Curtis' canvas was smaller. Bresson took it to a larger experience. And the photographers of 18th century also, 17th century, whatever, whatever landmarks they did for us, they were stepping stone for us. I say if people like André Curtis and Bresson weren't there, we won't be here. But the fact is that to make your canvas still larger with greater experience is something which requires a lot of meditative effort in receiving and perceiving situations. Today's fast food generation doesn't have that. They are in a hurry for instant gratification. So they are looking for ideas and pictures which look different. Maggie sauce bhi to wo kehte hain na, is different. Every time they change the label or something.
Siddharth?
This disease of being different. Dekho, Mirza Ghalib.
For the sake of it.
Yeah, Mirza Ghalib, जब मैं पॉल के पास रहता था तो मैंने बताया ना कि he had love for poetry, for music, for everything. तो उन्होंने मुझे एक शेर सुनाया था कि रगों में दौड़ते फिरने के हम नहीं कायल, रगों में दौड़ते फिरने के हम नहीं कायल, जो आंख ही से न टपके
वो फिर लहू क्या है.
तो ये जो इंटेंसिटी है कि हर बार कि इतनी तड़प है कि लायत खान, पंडित रविशंकर ऐसे लगे बजाने कि जैसे ये जिंदगी का लास्ट कॉन्सर्ट है, इनको मौका ही नहीं दिया जाएगा फिर से बजाने का. जब सर्च इतनी इंटेंस, जब एक्सप्लोरेशन में इतनी इंटेंसिटी हो, तो सुरों के दर्शन तो होंगे. और फोटोग्राफी में तो दर्शन पाना बहुत आसान है, क्योंकि साक्षात है वो, और आपको साक्षात करना है. और दर्शन जो शब्द है ना, दर्शन पाना, कि जी समटाइम्स यू मीट समबडी एंड जिससे कि आपके दर्शन करके बड़ा अच्छा लगा, बिकॉज द पर्सन इज सो मच देयर एंड सो इंस्टिंक्टिव एंड वंडरफुल. तो व्हाट इज दिस दर्शन? इज टू रिसीव, परसीव, अंडरस्टैंड एंड एक्सपीरियंस somebody or some situation in its entirety is darshan. कि मुझे तो आज दर्शन हो गए. वैसे भगवान नहीं कोई भी आने वाला दर्शन देने, आप जितनी मर्जी उनके नाम जपो, उनके वो सारा करो, क्योंकि धर्म पे नाम पे तो आप देख रहे हैं ना, so much violence is happening everywhere in the world, and no God is coming down for you or for me to take care of our lives. It's between you and me. And you are a bad guy, I'm a good guy, so it will carry on.
I have a question to ask you. Yeah. So many of your photographs look at the daily life and the Roznama. But on the other hand, you also have looked at human suffering in a way that, when we as students used to read about, how Eugene Smith went to shoot in Southern America or went to Japan and shoot Meena Mata, and what you did with Bhopal, gas tragedy, or you went to Orissa after the super cyclone. It kind of jolted many people who saw that, and that engagement stayed for many years. It wasn't a fleeting engagement that you had. It has stayed for decades. Could you talk something about that?
How it impacted you personally as well.
नहीं, फिर ये भी है, उसने ये भी कहा था कि दुनिया में हूं, दुनिया का तलबगार नहीं हूं, बाजार से निकला हूं, खरीदार नहीं हूं। देखो कि अगर मैं ही इमोशनल विक्टिम बन जाऊं ऑफ अ ट्रेजेडी, oh my God, what's going on? Then I cannot be very objective in capturing the intensity of it. So, you have to have, as Bresson used to say, beautiful line, you have to have cool eye and warm heart, so that you see it through the cool eye, but your warm heart receives everything the way it is. तो ये पार्ट जो है बहुत जरूरी है. Otherwise, you become a victim yourself of a situation, of a tragedy. And it has happened to a couple of photographers. One of them who was photographing a child almost being eaten up by the vultures. He took that picture, he didn't save him or whatever, and then he came back and killed himself. तो मैं कोई ऐसा पाप नहीं करने वाला, I can assure you.
No, but sometimes it is tough. And, the film that your elder daughter, Avni, a beautiful film that she made on you, in fact, she has dealt with this question, that how do you create that distance? And I think if you could talk specifically about the Bhopal gas tragedy, because at that time you were also much younger, the school eye, was it fully cool eye? Were there moments where you were torn? Is there a moral dilemma?
Even Bangladesh refugees, when I was doing.
Yeah. Right, Bangladesh.
71. I was just 5-6 years old as a photographer. But dekhiye, you see, I was born in Pakistan, in Jhang, in December 1942. During election, I must have been 5 years old or 6 years old, and not very well aware of what's going on around me. But I could feel the violence in the air. I could feel the fear. And nobody spoke about any of those things to me, कि ये नहीं, वो नहीं, क्या नहीं, because I was a little बच्चा. उन्होंने क्या बताना? But somewhere I did, that seeped into my system. And when I was photographing the Bangladesh refugees, I could see myself walking with those families, coming from the border. So ये जो देखो, you see also the tragedy. So many tragedies happen in anybody's life. So it's not that particular tragedy which you are seeing happening in front of you. Some sense of tragedy is always living within us, and that makes us look at it more intensely and objectively and capture it, because eventually, finally, the purpose is, वो हिम्मत शाह बड़ा बढ़िया कहता है, nobody's given you the right to cut a rock from Himalayas unless the rock that you cut, you can give it an expression of the Himalayas. Beautiful thing. तो ये कि आपने उसकी इंटेंसिटी के पूरी वो दुख और वो जो था वो समा आपने बांध दिया, कैप्चर कर लिया through your image. But for that, you see, I say make your heart the sensor of your camera, so that it receives whatever is there, whatever is. और अगर आप उसको किसी तरह का भी कलर करेंगे, तो then it is not the truthful, pure representation of the intensity and reality of that situation. It will get diluted, it will get smudged, something will happen to it. तो वो जो है, ये जो है मिरर इतना क्लीन होना चाहिए to receive and perceive and deliver. और deliverance जो है is discipline of the medium. And I did realize long ago that no matter where, with whom, the discipline lies in when you walk into a situation, it's not a step extra that somebody feels, why is he coming in so over me, like this, not a step extra and not a step less than required. You see, we were in Mexico Sebastião Salgado, myself, and one of their Graciela Iterwood, we were doing India and Mexico parallel winds kind of a thing, you know. So our host took us to a small village where there was a woman, and they said she's got ancient cross, wooden cross. And this cross can walk. So Natalia was our host. I said, Natalia, yeah, this is amazing. I must see it. So we go to a small house in a remote village, you know. And this lady has a very old table, an old table, unpolished, untouched. Over the centuries, it has become so smooth. You can see all the grains. So is the cross, which is about 2 feet high. And she brings out that cross. She puts it on the table. She just gives it a push. And it keeps going like this, like this. I said, wow, amazing. So I said, do it again. So I took some pictures. I said, do it again. She did it again. So I was watching. Then I said, can I do it myself? She says, sure. So I put my hand and I tried to push, and it was falling, falling down. I said, wait a minute. Then I tried again, just enough, and no more. And then it began to move, and little more, and then it kept on moving. This is precise. You know, all these things, Mother Teresa has taught me so much about life, about human expression.
We wanted to ask you about that, actually.
Purity, about purity. When I used to meet Mother every morning, I'll take a bath, brush my teeth, and change my clothes, and how I'll feel. Okay, how can I clean myself from inside also? Okay, माँ वो क्या करती थी? She will not look at you. She will hold your hand and she will look inside you. Itni penetrating aankhein माँ की. When she look inside you, I used to tremble कि माँ तो सारा देख लेगी, मर जाएंगे. You know, that feeling. So, you know, like His Holiness Dalai Lama has been in my life, so precious. And I get such prolonged hugs from him. Meeta asked me, she says, what is this? Sadhguru, His Holiness Dalai Lama, and Mother Teresa, our Guruji. Why do they give you so much love? So I said, I can analyze it for you. I said, you know, being a photographer, when I walk into a situation, I stand like I like to be a mirror to capture it truthfully. So when I stand in front of His Holiness, and I am a mirror and I'm reflecting His purity and His energy, He thinks I am pure. You understand what I'm saying? I am reflecting the purity of this beautiful man, and he thinks I am that. So I get love from everybody, except from my friend Instamatic, Mr. Diplomatic.
May I be allowed to defend myself? May I be allowed to defend myself?
Yes, yes.
No, sir. This is all great friendship pouring out. So you don't need to defend.
No, no. I just think of it this way. Is it because if I'm a mirror, then I reflect Raghu Rai?
Also, of course, of course. I can't deny.
Yeah, there is a whole mirror theory in spirituality.
How terrible
we can come to that later.
That you leave Lalit and reflect Raghu Rai. How terrible of you.
Okay. Can I be allowed to ask a small question, Nandita?
Well, how do I say no to you? Please go ahead.
Raghu, very fascinating what you have been speaking about. But I want to ask you a little more mundane question.
Ji.
What have been your greatest moments in photography, and what have been your embarrassing moments? Sorry?
Somebody has to mute. I don't know, somebody's... please mute कर दीजिए जिनका नहीं है. Thank you. Yeah. No, that's good.
Greatest moments and embarrassing moments. You know, embarrassing there have been many, because मैं भी बड़ा लालची. You see, I am actually, these days how I explain who I am. देखो पुराने जमाने में लुटेरे होते थे ना, डाकू. They will come on the horsebacks. That lutera with a camera. When I go out once in a while, I am like a lutera. Yahan loot, wahan loot, wahan loot. Chhod nahi sale kahin bhi. So this has been my passion. And yet, I can tell you there are moments where I have missed a great moment by a fraction of a second. And then I tell them, I said, you guys were not meant for me. It doesn't matter. How much can you embarrass yourself all the time? You have to live beyond it, embarrassment. And of course, great moments are not great anymore in the sense that today, after 55 long years in profession, you know, if somebody looks at this building and says, which is the most important brick in this building? I am a product of all those experiences, big and small, embarrassing and not so embarrassing, great, not so great. And I am a product of all those experiences. So for me, embarrassing moments and great moments, I don't separate them anymore. It's just me. If you accept me, my dear friend.
So you talked about His Holiness Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa, you know, all these great people, and how the mirror happened and how your purity came out because of them. But what about leaders like Indira Gandhi, like Mrs. Gandhi, when you were shooting? What kind of rapport did you have to bring? Were people like that really open and vulnerable to you? Because you've captured some amazing moments during her regime. And so how did you do that? And are there some interesting stories that you want to share with us?
Actually, during Indira Gandhi's time, we didn't have such security issues, the terrorism.
Like you have today.
Terrorism. Today, you know, once in a while, whenever I have gone, you know, actually, I have been to a Congress session, I have been to BJP session, and I discovered that they keep you 100 feet away.
Miles away.
from the dais. And in photography, they say if you're not close enough, your photographs are not good enough. But during Indira Gandhi's time, we didn't have any such problems of security and terrorism. So we could be shooting Indira Gandhi from 5 feet, 6 feet away. And even if the security person would come in, we'll say, Dekhe Indira ji. And Indira ji will give them a dirty look and they'll run away. But now, because of all the terrorism and everything, and in those years, we used to be how many, 10, 12 photographers at the most. Today, there are 50, 60 photographers in any given situation. And it's so chaotic. So it's not the same thing, you know. There is strange kind of distance, and a quiet kind of violence keeps happening in this space all the time, which is not a nice feeling. Even if you don't question, there is some.
So is that why you're more sort of drawn to everyday life? You know, you decided on this topic today also, the title of Roznama, Everyday Living. Is that also one of the reasons that just something that may seem very ordinary, mundane, everyday life becomes fascinating or intrigues you more?
Actually, अमित मेहरा ने ही अपनी बेटी की एक छोटी सी बुक की थी, उसका नाम रोजनामा लिखा था नाम से. मैंने कहा इस बदमाश की ऐसी की तैसी मैं इसे चोरी कर लूंगा ये नाम. क्योंकि मेरी जिंदगी जो रोजनामों से भरी हुई है. और you see, big events come and disappear. but it's the everydayness of daily life that we have to live. We can't do without it. And that thread of daily life keeps us bound together as a human race. And that's why this aspect is so important to anybody. Ab dekhiye, the difference between Satyajit Ray and other filmmakers, that his films will have that ordinary daily thread of daily life, weaving together important moments. They come and go in between. Today, Hindi cinema is full of melodramatic moments, one after another, one after. Saans bhi nahi saale aapko lene dete hain. So ye baat, in any case, you know, when you begin to engage in ordinariness of daily life, that teaches you much more, because big events are in any case unfolding with so much of their own violent energy or whatever else is available to you instantaneously. But when you begin to sing a song of daily life, जिसमें अपने सुर रोजमर्रा के जिंदगी के सुर जहां बजते हों और फिर भी उनमें खूबसूरती आप ढूंढ लें, तो आपका राग तो कामयाब हो गया ना. वैसे मैंने अभी तक बेचा नहीं है. ये देखो ना, वो look at the thread going on, huh? Even the pole and the wire coming down, and then that thread going from here to there, and this man, वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको कर रहा है, हाँ. So another thread hanging vertically down, and the way this boy jumps and his head is tied with the rope right in the center is the rhythm, is the magic, is the music of daily life. ये हमारे गांव के photograph? हाँ, हमारे गांव में बारिश हो रही थी, and these bulls, cows were stranded there in the rain. In any case, they knew no matter where we go, the rain will be there. So they stood there, and the stillness of this experience. Now this is a very ordinary simple. This is a day before Ayodhya Babri Masjid demolition. Now look at the spirit of Ayodhya. So much peace, tranquility, relationship. There's a dog coming. There's this man getting something. The monkey's waiting. Another monkey walking away. The elephants over there. And the mist in the space. And the architecture of Ayodhya. So beautiful. And the next day, there was so much of violence. This is our Dadu Satyajit Ray. He was shooting Ghore Baire. So, you know, I wasn't getting the picture. So I was, you know, there was a little break in this sequence, and he came and lied down with his pipe. And I took some pictures from front, which were not good enough. But when I turned away and saw it from the back side, I discovered the shadows of the, you know, these curtains and everything was so beautiful.
Machardani, that thing, yeah.
Machardani, and the details inside. So Dadu was lying on bed. So in usual style, I said, Manikda, please look here. And he turned. He was such a sweetheart, you know. I am doing a book.
Wow.
You know, in these 7 months, I have edited 7 different books. One of them is being with Dadu for a day and a half. I was there when he was shooting, one day when he was shooting Ghore Baire. Another half day I went to his studio, to his home, and where I did some portraits in his study with his music, with everything. And then in the evening he says, what do we do now? I said, let's take a walk along the river. So we took a walk. So 1.5 days with Dadu. That will be the book. This is
lovely. Looking forward to that.
This is, of course, you know, Panditji. When we were doing
Panditji, yeah.
Ravi Shankar, when we were doing a book on musicians, he says, Raghu bhai, phir to aapko, you'll have to come to Banaras because I have my school there. I said, of course, Panditji, hum aap jahan kahenge chalenge. तो पंडित जी ने जब शाम हो गई तो कहने लगे चलो अब गंगा चलते हैं वहां बैठ के चाय पियेंगे. So he was sitting there having tea. I said, पंडित जी ये तो बात नहीं बन रही है. मैंने कहा आप खड़े हो जाइए if you don't mind. He said हाँ no problem. He stood up. अब देखिए nuance क्या होता है इसका कि पंडित जी standing with that cup and he was looking this way, that way. I was shooting pictures, and then comes the breeze, and then his hair goes flying, touching the ghat. बस इतना सा सुर मिल गया, इतना सा सुर मिल गया. This is what it is. ये
beautiful.
Wrestler,
Siddharth, are you changing?
I saw the gate, you know, with these painted pahalwans. I said, yeah, that looks nice. I just pushed open and I saw those guys carrying on their, you know, wrestling.
It's a wonderful one.
ये हम वाराणसी में जो अपने धुआं रमाते रहते हैं हर वक्त और अपने ड्रग्स में ही अपनी स्पिरिट में रहते हैं. See their expression, so you can make up, but see the landscape in the background and the river. It's so interesting. ये महाबलीपुरम में है towards the evening. This is Jodhpur. You see, these ladies were sitting there doing gupshup in the evening. I said, yaar, kuch ho nahi raha khas. And I'm standing and waiting, and then comes this dog right in front of me. I said, yaar, kuch to kar de. Then he turns his neck and he creates the magic for me. Yeah, you see, this is what I said, when nature begins to perform for you, when life begins to perform for you. Ye dekho. Now, see, this is Calcutta City New Market. Look at the poster, the hand going up, and this boy sitting there. And now, you see, also, in every photograph of mine, you will find everything in focus. Why? Because human eye sees everything in focus. And then this guy gets into this mood suddenly, and I take that picture. Now, see the expression he has and the resonance of the movement of the hand that creates a kind of rhythm of its own kind, and the color quality, which is almost pastel and white, off-white, and greens here and reds there. I was going in my car and suddenly I saw that woman, you know, flying in the space. And I saw this boy, you know, lying on the road. I thought they resonate each other's, you know, spirit in very different ways. And these guys were waiting on the bus stand. So life has such great moments happening, you know, and they keep changing every second of it. So, you know, I mean, the magic, this is my landscape picture of Ladakh. There's a big army poster here. So I use that poster and that lone figure walking away. This is also Ladakh, but here you see this mud painted walls are in the shade. And you can see the hills in the background and the sky, but the sunshine is touching horizontally here, a little bit on top, little bit on the edge. अब ये जो है nuances जो हैं, ये छोटी सी sensitivity जो है, ये तो मेरा दिल लूट लेती है. क्या कैसी light आई? ये है divine light for me. You know, Ladakh is such a beautiful landscape. You can see the monastery on top and these eucalyptus trees. I said, yaar, itna sundar landscape hai, but nothing is happening. And then comes the breeze and these eucalyptus trees start swaying for me. They begin to sway. Anita, what can you say to that?
Nature is performing again for you.
मैं भूखा प्यासा है, मैं लुटेरा, सर झुका के बैठ जाता हूँ. मैं लुटेरा तो हूँ पर मैं सर झुका के बैठता हूँ. Please, okay? ये भी लद्दाख की है. These are wild horses and the light and you know. अब ये देखिए.
थोड़ा black and white और color का थोड़ा बताइए. What is? When do you decide that you want to do it in black and white or you want to? Is it in that moment or do you decide later when you
later also, I'll just tell you, but this landscape. Now, I'm doing a book of landscapes, and bulk of the landscapes are shot while traveling at a speed of 70, 80, 100 kilometers. And no time to think, because this thinking devil is a dangerous, repetitive guy. So when I'm traveling at 80 kilometers an hour, I have no time to think. I have time to feel and preempt what could be the next. अब देखो, अगर आप इसमें ध्यान से देखो, आखिर तक का जो actually the screen is so छोटा, you can't see the details. The foreground, the road is in focus. The mountain at the back is in focus. The mountain on the right-hand side where the shadow is falling. But now, when you look at the shadow, is like elephant's foot falling on the road. Isn't it? जैसे यूं पांव रख दिया shadow में. देखो, ये बच्चों जैसी imagination होती है ना, यहाँ सबका, अरे वो सुसु वाली, शर्म आ गई सुसु का देख. यार वो सुसु वाली is very important. I want to see. वो सुसु कर रहे हैं और उधर से बादल बन के आ रहे हैं.
जल्दी तुम आगे चले गए, जिस whoever is operating. Yeah, there. Tell us.
आप समझे ना, वो सुसु कर रहे हैं और उनके बादल बन के आ रहे हैं सुसु के, और ये बरसेंगे हम.
Oh God. चलो next.
ये वही दीवार है. अब देखो, वो आपने एक्सपीरियंस देखा, ये एक्सपीरियंस देखिए. अब यहाँ पे ये दीवार का टेक्सचर, ये वर्टिकल लाइंस कमिंग डाउन, horizontal clouds going in the space. See the experience. If you go back to that and come to this, they are totally two different experiences of the same situation.
Yeah. Next, please.
ये है Gangotri में. You can see that pigeon. This man was sitting there in his prayer, and I took some pictures. I said, yeah, I need something else. Then the pigeon comes and sits there.
Where is the pigeon? I can't see the pigeon.
You can't see the pigeon. To the right of the frame on top. The pigeon comes and sits there, and I take
where the cursor is. Now I see it.
Take a picture, and I say, not enough. Then the pigeon looks at that guy towards his, he turns his head towards that guy. अब ये छोटी-छोटी जो alignments है nature की, they are divine interventions. ये तो बड़ी simple तस्वीर है of Dal Lake.
Dal Lake. Beautiful.
Thank you.
अच्छा, बहुत सारे सवाल भी आ रहे हैं. We can't only have Mr. Man Singh ask questions, नहीं तो हमें nepotism का वो रख जाएगा. So we have to we want to take a few more questions. Mr. Arvind Padi ka question, I think we've already responded to, about how tragedies impact you and how do you keep a distance. You already shared that. Sachin Khandelwal has asked, how do you keep a frame thematic? One ends up usually getting some irrelevant items, people or objects that without a lot of cropping don't bring out the subject. Is it just pure editing later via cropping, or is it their knack while clicking on the spur of the moment? So basically, I think he's asking, when there is clutter, there are things that you don't want.
No.
How do you deal with that?
No. Nothing is irrelevant for me. Please, nothing is irrelevant. Because when you connect with every inch of space, your awareness at its peak, and all energies, expressions, forms playing together. And I don't believe in anything which is there in front of us can be irrelevant if you learn to create or transfer your inner music to those forms. They begin to play a symphony for you. ये धर्म कर्म की बात है. कसम से मैं कहता हूँ कि जो the divinity that begins to play for you has to come from the purity of the heart and intent, and not being judgmental कि ये यूं नहीं है, ये ऐसा नहीं है, ये वैसा नहीं है. I never ever question. Whatever there is there in front of me is there. And I respond accordingly. So I edit nothing. Even electric poles, you know, वो जो landscape Rajasthan का देखा, उसमें मैंने pole भी रखा है. And we were told कि देखो ये जो electric poles or wires हैं, they are very disturbing in your landscape. But I keep them as part of the rhythm.
There's a question from the audience on YouTube about if you could speak a little bit about the photographs you've taken of Taj.
Taj की एक बात है कि, you know, one of my editors in the Statesman was Desmond Doig, very bright, creative person and a good writer, good designer. He says, Raghu, everybody has photographed Taj Mahal. What happens if you go there and you photograph it? That was way back in 1972 or 3. So I decided to go to Taj. And as I was driving towards Taj in Agra city, the road that takes you to Taj Mahal, which goes along the river. अरे मैंने दूर से देखा ताज के डोम्स निकले हुए और आगे इतनी लाइफ, इतना कुछ हो रहा है in the foreground. The first day I was shooting all around outside, and the next day I decided I will go and see the Taj from the main gate. क्यों? कि ताज महल के वहाँ पे you can buy models in this size, this size, this size. Very beautiful ones also. Actually, if you put that beautiful Taj Mahal, you take it to Hyde Park, London, and you put there and take pictures, people will not know कि कौन सा है, real Taj है. So the fact is that Taj Mahal is in India, and India through Taj Mahal was the purpose. फिर उसमें different changing seasons भी आए, उसमें different landscapes भी आए, lighting भी different, early morning, late evening, everything. So to experience it in its entirety, in its landscape, in its space, was the purpose.
Sorry,
Siddharth, any question on YouTube? No, any question on YouTube that you want to?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Manjari ji ne पूछा, what is the work behind you? I think Purvai ka hai.
Purvai ka hai.
The one.
She's what she does is she's
that's his younger daughter.
Yeah, she's a child. She's a nature's child. You know, she gets into these moments of madness. She begins to paint for 2-3 days, and then whatever is done is done. Whatever is not done, lying in the space. I said, baby, what are you doing? She says, Papa, bas abhi to itna hi kiya hai. बाद में देखूंगी मैं क्या करना है. So she gets into the mood, and then she goes like a mad person doing it continuously, and she's exploring different things, new ideas. कभी कुछ करती है, कभी कुछ करती है. What is so nice is that she keeps changing her way of putting strokes and colors and everything. So खेले, she should enjoy it.
There's an audience question.
ये तो जरूर पूछेंगे कि आपका. Sorry. Go ahead, Siddharth.
Okay. There's an audience question by Siddharth Day, who's a photographer. How do you consider photography as a form of art? If you consider photography as an art which only captures a moment, can a photographer bring his imagination or dreams to the frame? Whereas an artist can create a work from the imagination or even from a dream. I think you've answered it in some ways earlier.
Some ways I have. Dekho, rich is he who can bridge the gap between his dreams, his imagination, and the reality down there. Now, we all have dreams, and we all have our respective imaginations taking flights at different times. But when I say when you connect with the situation and deal with every inch of space, and you become a part of the whole. And that's the time when something rare begins to happen. As I said, that Ali Akbar Khan Sahab playing his rag with his eyes closed, and then he suddenly opens because something special has been played by the divine. If you don't have that divine touch or divinity you're waiting for, then our own head, our own imagination. You see, artists can paint anything. They can paint sky red and put green patch in the space and say, this is my green garden in the sky, in red garden, in the red sky. So वो abstract इतना कर लेते हैं artists लोग, they can get away with anything, है ना? We cannot change the colors, we cannot change the form, we cannot change the reality. But within the reality, there are always magic moments, sprouting and taking shapes and disappearing, not to come back again. But you have to be ready and available.
Now we're almost coming to the end. Because this is part of JDCA, which is still being built. It started with a dream, imagination, reality, sab saath hai. So, aapka association bhi shuru se raha hai. You've seen the collection grow. You've seen the construction, Doshi Sahab very well.
The team which will take ages to complete itself because it's happening on so multi-level experiences.
You've been there many times. And what do you think artists and people like you and so many of us are here also because of JDCA? And how can we help in building institutions that are not just in big cities? It's a big challenge. Ek art institution, wo bhi Odisha mein. So I don't know, any suggestions or any thoughts about it? Kuch bhi aap agar share karna chahein.
Like in other countries where governments give you big grants when they know the purpose of your, institution, what you are trying to build. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen in India the same way. And I tell you, देखो हमारे हिंदुस्तान की गरीबी, this is one of the garibi poverty we have. We don't have institutions, and few individuals dare to do this, which is very, very important and precious. And that's where we are failing, because our younger generation are people who are inspiring to be somebody special, because everything comes from somewhere. Nothing comes from nowhere. So that continuity and that spirit has to be displayed somewhere and nurtured, and these institutions like JDCA, very important,
Yeah, and that's why we're also appealing to everyone who's here. Many already know about the center. Some of you might be new audiences. If you want to know more about JD Center of Art, please do log on to jdcenterofart.org and find out more. Write to us. And, if we need more volunteers, we need more people who are passionate about art. And so we could do always with more people, more minds, more hearts. So thank you so much. It's really been wonderful. Questions की ज़रूरत ही नहीं पड़ी, जो हमने सारे लंबे चौड़े questions निकाल के रखे थे, आपने उनके जवाब पहले ही दे दिए. And so yes, hopefully we'll continue these conversations every second Saturday. This month we didn't do it on a second Saturday because it was Diwali, so that's why it's on third Saturday. But otherwise we always do it on a second Saturday, 6 p.m. of every month.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
1 minute. Nandita, 1 minute.
Yes. Oh, you've reached home. Okay, good. Yes. The person who started JDCA has to definitely must have the last word.
No. That's not what it is. I want to bring out from Raghu. Ask him about his interest in plants. Ask him about his interest in music.
Music.
But not about
sings
plants.
Beautifully.
No, that is one. And then his interest in plants, his interest in photography and richness and sensitivity comes from his interest in plants, etc. Talk about that.
चलिए last में हमको ये जरूर बताइए.
Like some of these children here. In any case, it's very important, especially music. Initially, it used to be music. And even now, I listen to a lot of music. I wake up in the morning, the music is turned on before my tea comes in. And then I come to the office, my music is turned on. And of course, this time I'm being very nice to you guys so that the music in the background doesn't take
Has
over.
been turned off.
I just sing a song before you.
Great inspiration, जो मैंने आपको उसमें भी बताया कि जो तुम्हारे अंदर हर एक के अंदर एक तरह का रिदम, एक तरह का म्यूजिक जरूर बजता है, और वो जो म्यूजिक जो रिदम तुम्हारे अंदर है, when you become a part of the whole, gets transferred, that rhythm. And that's why you can capture that kind of symphony in daily life, which is chaotic otherwise. And I do not reject, I do not think anything is irrelevant, because the music is being played, making everything come together in a rhythm. And of course, nature, plants are as precious as anything in life, because greens,
absolutely,
they enrich your eyes, कि घर में भी मेरे plants हैं, मेरे farm पे इतने plants हैं. I've got so much from all over the world. I'm a very rich man in terms of greens and plants.
Every Saturday and Sunday, he looks after his plants.
Yeah.
And we had a very close friend, Basu
even on the phone. Even on the phone, when I bring some new plants, I keep speaking to my malis. Kaisa hai? How's my baby?
Before we close, let him sing a song.
Oi.
Before we close, he will
sing.
हो
जाए. आपका रमैया वस्ता भैया ही गा दीजिए.
No, but he will sing whatever.
हम बजाएंगे टेबल पे. Yeah, but he usually ends up singing that.
अब सारे घर के लोग और दोस्त लोग इकट्ठे हो गए हैं और अब सोचते हैं मैं महफिल लगा दूंगा. Cheers, cheers.
कोई भी आर्टिस्ट तो कंप्लीट आर्टिस्ट तो तभी होते हैं ना. फोटोग्राफर पेंटिंग भी कर सकते हैं, गा भी लेते हैं, माली भी बन जाते हैं. गा रहे हैं आप? बताइए.
गा ले भाई.
पक्का?
That's the closing thing.
मन में गाना नहीं है, इसको गुस्सा है बहुत.
टेबल पे बजाएंगे हम.
गा ले.
ओके, चलिए.
थैंक यू.
बताइए अभी आप दोनों में कौन अभी जो गेस्ट हैं वो हमेशा जीतेंगे. आप गाने वाले हैं? We would love it. It will be a real treat.
मैं घर से गा.
ठीक है, चलिए. Zoom के बाद गाइएगा लेकिन. Okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining, and thanks to you especially for taking the time out. हम ऐसे ही नहीं कह रहे हैं, दिल से कह रहे हैं बिल्कुल, because it means a lot to us. And yes, and we'll continue this journey. बिल्कुल नहीं, सच्चा, बिल्कुल दिल से है, बिल्कुल सच है. निक, बहुत नई नई चीजें जानने को मिली. हम आपको कब से जानते हैं? जब से पैदा हुए हैं तब से जानते हैं, लेकिन हर इंसान में इतनी अलग अलग चीजें होती हैं. And there are so many stories. You're full of stories. You're a storyteller, like Mr. Mansingh had said in the beginning, that it's staggering how well you can eloquently speak. That's because you have you have so many experiences and you want to share. And I think that's wonderful for all of us, that people like you share so much with us. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Bye. Have a good evening. Bye. Bye-bye.